right, today I'm going to try something just a little bit different. I'm going to do a painting drawing from start to finish in one go. That's something I don't normally do because I like to layer my watercolors and let those dry, but I just want to kind of show you that you don't need days to complete a painting. So I'm gonna do this. Hopefully it's a good example, and that not only you learned something from it, but I also. So first thing I'm going to start with, I did do a quick pencil sketch before I started this, just to get that out of the way before I do my ink. But I will now do the ink, then I'll do the watercolor. Hopefully this will all fall within an hour's time. So I'm going to stay very loose. I hold my pen back. It gives a little bit looser feel, and I'm good with that. So I'll do a little narrating as we go, but for the most part, I'm going to just let this run, and you can kind of watch what I do here. You can see it's very loose. And I like to do that. I do like painting loose and drawing. Put a little design here. I'm not sure what that is. Above, kind of like a keystone, I guess. And there might be a sign or something in here. See, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the ink work, because the watercolor is what's going to really make it kind of pop. But you can see by holding the pen back here, you don't get such technical lines, I guess, or where you're really trying to make it precise. I don't need it to be precise, so I'm good with these lines. You can see we're really making a little progress here. It probably has only been maybe 2 minutes, so that's what I like about doing this kind of style. I'm just mimicking maybe some lines that would happen. Put a little flower pot here. Flowers here. Finish that there. Let's get this guy. Yeah, there is some trim on here, isn't there? Let's put some trim on here. You can see you don't need all of the detail in the picture. Put a little transom here. And a door underneath here. It's the pedals of the door. Some of these loose lines, I take just a little bit more time to make sure I get them centered in there right. I don't want to get too sloppy. Put the steps in here, bring that down like that. That's not bad. Let's finish this up here now. And we'll put a little post over here too. So I kind of try to mimic what's going on over there to make it architecturally look correct. And then we're just going to put an inset panel in here. Some moldings. And you would only really see these inset moldings from this angle because these two edges would be hiding it. And it's something you need to remember with perspective is what actually shows up and what doesn't. I think that's important. I'm just going to run this all the way through here. I was going to put these capitals going up, but I'm going to run this molding through. And then down here I can put the cap. And we're going to have some windows in here. This will be the side of the post, actually. Kind of did that a little wrong, but it's not bad. We'll put these windows in here. And maybe some little trim in there. Yeah, moldings here. It's not bad. And we're going to put a little table out here. With some little stools. I think we'll put another one here. And then these are just some mimic legs. You don't have to be super exact here. And that's enough to mimic that. And we'll put this, bring this building around inside there. And that's pretty much it for the building. I kind of messed up there, but it's okay. And we'll throw this tree in here. Again, hold that pen back. I'm going to mimic that this building actually goes beyond that, but we're not going to actually draw it, and we're not going to color it. But it just gives you those lines. We've got a little sign here. Maybe the menu will go on there. We've got a sidewalk here. And finish this tree off here a little bit. That's it. I don't think I really need more than that. And I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm just, like I said, I'm going to make this simple. A couple of lines out here. And leave it at that. I may do some ink when I'm all done. I kind of have that thing that's developed, or my trademark, so to speak, where I put some scratchy lines on afterwards. But now we're going to go to the paint here. And size brush do I want to use? Like I say, you usually use a brush larger than you think you should. So I think I'm going to start, well, let's start with the doors, maybe the wood color, so to speak. So I'm going to get my warm palette out here, get some brown going, maybe a little bit of red, orange. Yeah, kind of liked it. I like that. That'll work. That'll be my wood color. So I'm just going to throw some in here. And I may have to use the hair dryer on this to dry it, because normally I would leave the watercolor dry on its own. But seeing that we're trying to do this in a quick fashion, I'm probably going to have to use the hair dryer, which I don't have out. I'll have to get that. And we're going to finish this off in here. You don't have to be, it's not like in grade school where you got to color between the lines. Don't worry about it. And then we're going to put a few little lines in here. And then I also want to kind of color that table top wood also. So we're going to just use maybe just a slight different color there. And then I want to do the bench pads. These guys, I just put a little color on here. And that's pretty much all I need to do with that. I'm going to wash my brush out with my 2 different waters. And then I have to get my hair dryer. I just don't want that wood running into the rest of it. So that's the only reason I'm trying to dry it quick, so to keep this rolling here. So now I think what I'm going to do is put a little tinge of color on the building. Not a lot. I want to keep it light. So I'm going to use this area up in here. What do we want to use? Maybe a little bit of this green. And some more water. Kind of like that. I think that'll work. That will work. So, that being said, I'm going to use a bigger brush for this. Like I said, that's usually the best route to go. It's not going to need a lot of paint, so I think I have enough here. I'm going to just start up on these here. I don't have quite enough color, I don't think. Let's try it. Okay, now we're going to color it. Whatever it is, we're doing it. Yep. And again, I don't have to be accurate. I'm going to lighten this up a little bit here. And then go back to a little bit darker in here. See, that's kind of fun, isn't it? I will probably go in as this dries and make some of the shadow areas a bit darker. And I'll show you what that means when we get there. I'm going to make that a little darker actually. Underneath here already, because that would not be light. There, simple as that. Maybe we're going to put a little darker color here on the steps. And maybe the flower pot. And then we're going to put a little water on that. Thin that out a little. And then do our sidewalk. Dry brush there, and something a little bit darker, or maybe along here, and on the side of the building. Let's kind of cast a shadow here. There, I like it. Right. No, that's drying a little bit, so I'm going to go back and get a little bit more shading in the building there, and we just throw a little black into the color that we were using, and then just kind of lightly go in here. We'll get it under the molding here a bit. Probably a little bit there too. And on this side of the oh yeah, this isn't going to take an hour at all. This really goes quickly. We'll shadow that in there a little bit down here. And then inside this pillar. And inside these pillars. And then there would be a little shadow I'm casting down in here. Even on there. And here. See, we're starting to get a little depth to it. Very simple. Very, very simple. Maybe we'll dry brush this here a little bit. Just get some texture on the building. On that side. We're good. All right, we're going to leave that. Clean my brush out, and then I got some, I think we're going to do, actually, let's go over this and do some blue. Let's leave the top the way it is, but let's do some blue. I think that would look cool. All right, let's just go ahead and we'll start up here. Kind of like that, don't I? Let's do some blue inside here too. There. Probably didn't know you could do a color over another color, huh? Well, you can. It's transparent watercolor, so that's what. And then let's do that underneath there too. This would be darker. Could have probably saved some time on this step had I thought of doing this bottom part blue in the beginning, but hey, oh well. I'm gonna just put a little shadow under here. Let's get a tinier brush for that. Shadow under there, that's probably fine. Yeah, should we make that blackboard? Let's do a blackboard here. And we'll do some maybe like a Posco weight pen or a gel pen or something to give it some lettering there. All right. Now all I need to do is put some color in the windows. We're just going to throw a bunch of stuff in there. Not quite sure what, but hey, it'll give it color. So let's start over here. And I can add a little color in there. I don't have to keep it all the same. I like varying up glass because it always has different reflections and stuff. So let's throw a little bit of blue in there. And let's start with blue down here. And we're going to go back to some of this colorage here. You'll notice that I'm really not too concerned with my brush size and going over some of this stuff. In fact, I prefer that. Maybe we'll do just some maybe orangish, brownish up in these branches just to give it some color into the... It doesn't even have to be all, just a little bit of color there, I think really adds a lot. And we want to do a little color on these flowers here. Yeah. And then we'll add a little bit of yellow in there too. And probably some that's all I need on that. I'm going to add just a little blue on this just to set that off from the sidewalk. And maybe just a little bit up in here. I think I'm just about got it really. I want to get a tinier brush and do some shadowing, which I think will help bring the building out. So we're going to take all these little areas that would have a little bit more shading in it. Again, it doesn't have to be super accurate, but it's just even those little lines add. So to kind of highlight that out a little bit. I think that's not too bad. I'll put some down there too. And maybe just a little shadowing down on the bottom of the building. So what I like to do is just lay down something wet on the bottom here. And then grab a clear wet brush. And then just kind of blend it in. I think it just adds a nice little soft meeting spot between the building and the sidewalk. And then we're going to add a little dark up on top yet in the shadows. Just a couple of areas I think that'll help. No, it's nothing fancy, and I'm probably not going to list it on my website or anything, but I just want to show you that in just a few minutes, you can actually make something fairly decent. Put a little black right here. So I'm going to take a number 5 micron and just go over it now and just give it some highlights and stuff. Give it some darker lines. These are a little different than the watercolor lines. They're a little more distinct, but I think it adds a lot of interest to it. Remember our shadow spots if the light's coming this way. Doesn't take a lot. I think it just helps to highlight some of that, give you some distinct lines in here. And I also like to fill in some of these white gaps in here with this pen. This is a way to semi-tidy it up, because you can color in the white spots like that, and it just kind of makes it a little bit neater. I'd rather see a black spot than a white spot in these areas. So that's why I do this. And as you can see, it's starting to really define that door. And we'll put a nice little handle on here. And then this, we're going to put some lines in the flower pot. And we're going to do the same thing on this glass. Clean that up a little bit. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to, maybe we'll do, I'm going to leave it. This is just a super simple picture, so I'm not going to get too nuts here. I think I'll grab a white Posco pen here. And we're just going to mimic something that would be on a chalkboard here. Just kind of adds to it. Maybe a sign on here too. All right, I think I'm just about done. The only other thing I'm going to do is take a number 1 here, and I just do some scratchy lines on here. This is something that I like to do on mine. It just adds some organicness to it, I guess, or something, but I like to do this. quick, it's easy, it's random, don't have to think about it. Matter of fact, the less you think about it, the better it looks. And then I take a number 5. Here's an 8, this will work. And these I just put little specks. So a lot of times I'll use a brush to fleck some little spots, but I kind of like doing this because you can vary the size of them and the placement without going, oops, I shouldn't have done that. So I kind of like doing this. I know it seems like such a subtle thing, but when there isn't a shadow there, something just doesn't look right. I'm just going to add a couple little shades in here to kind of help give it some definition. Simple. And then all I need to do yet is sign it. All right, and here's a good final thing that I do often, and I use my Tombow pen. Just final shadows, just to kind of really highlight this. So I'll show you what I do here. It just kind of really adds to it. If I just added some real black highlights, I like the way it turns out this way. And I'll do some of the stuff inside here too. As you can see, it just kind of really adds a deep highlight. And that puts back in here too. You can see what it does, just kind of really emphasizes the shadows. I think brings it to life a lot. And then all of the window panes I always do, depending on the sun's coming this way, so I'm going to shadow all of these areas that would cast shadow. And you see what that does. It's just a little trick. I don't do it all the time, but for something simple like this, I think it helps emphasize depth and shadow. And it's easy to do, and it takes 2 minutes. So I'm going to do it. Yeah, we'll put a couple of it there here too. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna put some light lines in there, light lines in there, and I think that should take care of it. I'm gonna do one little thing yet, and that is to put just to highlight this outer edge here so it doesn't get lost in the sidewall there. Here. I think I could do this one too here. Just to help pull those out. I didn't want to get too carried away with this, but some things are just, I guess I wanted to show you a few maybe tricks or so. There we go. Simple. I don't know what that took. I'll find out when I check the videos. Nothing fancy, but just a good exercise in learning how to stay loose. I hope that was beneficial, and until next time, happy painting.